What up, Huck Squad, and welcome to the 2022 Women's Global event here at Maple Hill. This will be the Revenge on Reds on the red layout, and I am actually joined in the booth here by Kim Kissel, one of the ladies running this event as a part of the New England Women's Disc Golf event. So, kick it over to Kim here for the video sponsors.
Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the video, and a huge thank you to the sponsors for making this video happen. We love companies that support disc golf, so please check them out.
Especially ladies disc golf.
Especially ladies disc golf. All right, first on the card is Perry Stevens. She is an 839 rated player, shot a neg 2 this round. She's been playing disc golf for a year and a half, which is incredible. We got Jenna Gosson second, 857 rated, shot neg 1, sponsored by Disc Golf 978. Nicole Gonzalez is our third player, 867 rated. This is her first year playing tournaments, her first women's global, and has been crushing it this year. Fourth on the card is Daphne Chen, one of our teammates on the Bombers. Shot a really great round as well. And last, we got Kat Fortin, sponsored by Bishop Discs, on the Goats this year. And this is her first time playing FA1 all year long. So
just a lot of good competitors on this card.
Tons.
So heading into hole one, like we said, Perry leads the pack at a -2, and it's a pretty straightforward shot. I think it said right around 265 feet. She's throwing it pretty much straight at it. Here we have Jenna opting for a little bit more of a hyzer line. Perry was more of a straight turnover line right up the middle. Leaves herself right at circle's edge.
It's so funny because on the red layout, the whole point of reds is obviously it's one of the easier layouts and not a lot of water, but for some reason the water to the right there can get in your head.
It still can.
So
yeah,
easily.
Even though it's just on the side. Here's Daphne kind of playing a trusty hyzer. Right at the water's edge, but just letting it drift all the way back towards the basket.
Giving herself a good look there.
Yep. And rounding off the card, we have Kat. Kind of the same sort of line as Perry, right up the middle. Slightly lower than she might have wanted, but pretty good tee shots there, I'm sure. I think one of the biggest things about this tournament here was that you ladies wanted the FA1 to get some coverage on camera. So
yes.
When I walked up to this tee, these girls almost had no idea that they were going to be on camera, and there might be a little bit of nerves here on this first couple holes.
Absolutely, but I mean, FA1 has been crushing it this year.
They have.
New DG has been part of, we've had our Bay State Queen Series, and at all of our events, from the 4 in the series in our 5th finale event, FA1 has been kind of leader of the pack in terms of competitors. So that was a great putt there.
And look at the wind in the back,
oh my
like
gosh.
Absolutely ripping. Like it was a really windy day, and Perry just continues to grow that lead a little bit.
Close putt for Daphne there,
Yeah,
right on target.
Looked like it was a little bit of a tailwind, and here's Kat for her par. And this is kind of what we were talking about, a little bit of nerves.
Yeah.
You know, it was really windy, maybe a little bit of nerves in play, just a little bit short there. Here's Nicole tapping in her par. And I think you'll see that a lot more on the open holes out here. Once we get into the woods, the wind doesn't seem to affect it as much, but on this hole and any hole that really has a lot of open airspace, it is just blowing wind out there.
It's so funny that, like, obviously seeing the video in the wind and playing in it, but I feel like I was more focused on the heat and how hot it was that day. Where you're
it
like,
was
look.
nearly 90 degrees, so maybe the wind actually helped keep us cool that day.
Maybe.
And here at hole 2, I put myself up in the kind of the catch cam area, and Perry got really close to that out of bounds line, but she actually did stay in bounds right there.
Oh, did she? I was gonna say, didn't look it at all.
That was really close.
Hole 2 is definitely a tricky shot. That out of bounds rock wall can
It creeps up.
It creeps up.
Yeah.
It gets in the way. A lot of the overhanging branches can kind of, if you play the hyzer like this, the branches can get in the way. And
you'll see Nicole there.
Oh,
does
gosh.
go OB, pulls it a little bit right. And this hole does play uphill, and it's a pretty powerful shot. I think all these ladies will be throwing distance drivers. So and on a windy day like today, you can turn that thing over and, send it OB.
Absolutely. Let's see what Kat does.
Looks like she left it a little inside. I think Nicole going OB had Daphne and Kat playing it a little safer off the tee there.
Totally fair. That it is a scary shot.
Yeah.
And I love the addition of the rock wall they put right at the base too.
Yeah.
Very
Keep
interesting.
for the Pro Tour, it keeps the rollers from coming up there. I guess it also stops rollaways from going all the way back down into the river too.
I love that Nicole went with the flick there, despite having just gone OB, just really trusting her disc and
Right.
knowing, trusting her game, knowing that it's going to sit.
Because a little bit of off angle and it could have went OB again.
So that shows how much confidence she has in her shot selection, which is great.
Jenna with a nice upshot to the base there. Here we have Daphne in a pretty similar spot. Doesn't have the ceiling that Jenna had there, but looking like she's actually given that a little bit of a run. Puts it right to the base as well. And this is Perry's birdie look, and she was pretty fortunate not even to go OB here, so be nice to
good
just a little bit. And this is an uphill putt.
I was going to say, even having a birdie look on this hole, with the OB, with the uphill element,
it's impressive.
It's so impressive.
Yeah. There's a bogey for Nicole, up and down from where she went out of bounds. It's a good save for her.
For sure.
Here's Kat for her par. Dead center.
I was going to say, shaking off the nerves from the previous hole.
It's good to make something like that, to give you a little bit of confidence,
Absolutely.
Jenna with her par.
Did it almost fall out? I looked down. If I looked up, it wasn't in there.
And a couple tap-ins here now just to finish up the hole. Hole 2 played as a 3.42 average, and there actually wasn't a single birdie in the entire event on hole 2, so Perry actually had one of the best looks that you have seen there.
I was going to say, I got to imagine she's probably had one of the closest birdie looks out of anybody. That was such a great drive.
And here on hole 3, I kind of put myself in another catch cam position, kind of panning over to the basket here, but Perry's shot looked really good, and it just caught that guardian tree that's right in the middle of the gap.
It's so interesting because Reds is not a lot, it's one of the easier layouts. It's meant to be a beginner layout, but it definitely makes you work, and there's interesting shot shapes and trees that can make it really tricky. Speaking of trees, this is I was going to say, this gap to kind of hit and have turnover. And
I'm directly in their line of sight, so that could have been a little bit of, paying attention to me more so than paying attention to the shot. And speaking of maybe paying attention to me, it didn't hit me, but that shot by Kat was really close to hitting me. I actually had to move out of the way. And Nicole's opting for the forehand here, turns it a little bit. Also maybe aiming at me, but just barely missing me. Probably
getting in everybody's head over there.
I know, just out of circle 2. Here's Daphne with her recovery shot.
Oh, that's a beautiful shape.
And if it gets through everything, oh my gosh,
Daphne!
Just absolutely parked it after hitting first available.
That is incredible.
And we've played with Daphne enough to know that her scramble game can really save her some strokes out there.
She's such a good player.
Perry puts herself to about 10-12 feet. See if Kat can put herself up and under the basket as well here.
Yeah, she's good right up there.
Nice. Here's Jenna for her upshot. Looks like she early released it a little, and it got a very unfortunate
I was going to
roll.
say, a tough kick off the tree, too.
Nicole with her little up right under the basket.
Perfect.
Couldn't ask for much more. Here's Jenna for her par.
Come on, Jenna. Oh, girl, that was
high side.
Such a good bid.
Those ones are 50-50 too. Sometimes they hit and fall in, sometimes they hit and fall out. Yeah, that was a great bid.
Right. Hit the right side of the chains, don't change much on that one, girl.
Right. Perry tapping in for her par. Here's Kat for her par as well. Hole 3, similar to hole 2, played as a 3.32 average, and same thing, not a single birdie on this hole, which doesn't surprise me. It's a very hard turnover shot for most of these righty backhanders, and there's just a lot of trees in the way too, so it doesn't necessarily surprise me that there was no birdies on this one.
I'm hoping that we'll see some more birdies on this one. This is hole 3B, and so fun fact about this hole, it didn't come into existence for the tournament till about a week beforehand, when we realized we needed to scramble to find an extra hole to accommodate the amount of players that we had. This is a Steve Dodge brainchild who felt like, hey, I've always had this vision of having the tee pad behind the Ree's basket, kind of playing up to the traditional kind of 3 gold basket. So
we're still on hole 3 right now, but instead of, we're playing from the side up to the gold basket. So it's probably only about a 200-foot shot uphill here. You got a couple different lines to take, but I like this. I like the addition of it. And you mentioned that in PDGA events, you can't actually have ghost cards anymore.
Right. So that was our original thought, was like, we'll have a ghost card somewhere. There's some longer holes. We can make this work. And then found out that we were not able to do that. And so this hence the scramble.
Because on a traditional 18-hole course with 5 players, there'd be 90. But there was 100 players registered, so we had to sneak in 2 extra holes here or there.
Right.
Okay, let's see if Kat can give this one up.
Yes!
Oh, a good bid. Not only a good bid, but she put it in from just
jog it
outside
out,
the
girl.
circle.
And it's so amazing how once you hit one putt, how the rest can just fall, especially after kind of struggling on that first hole with it. Oh my
Ooh.
gosh, and Perry not to be
Yeah.
outdone.
Following in Kat's footsteps there, giving the fist pump. Yep.
You got to give yourself the props there.
Here's Jenna, also from right around Circle's edge, maybe right inside the circle.
Yes!
Nice putt. With the straddle around the tree. These girls are hitting some big putts right now.
I am here for this.
Yeah.
This is so cool to see.
I think this is Nicole for her
Yes.
birdie as well. So that's 4 birdies on the card. And Daphne's going to walk up and tap her par in, but she wasn't really in a spot to give a real solid birdie run. But to see 4 birdies on this hole is really cool.
I mean, I was hoping to see some birdies, and they did not disappoint.
Right.
All right, hole 4 is a 302 downhill shot. Super tight, super tree. You got the water in the background.
Oh, look at that tree love. She hit first available, and she got one of those
Not the worst.
Anheuser skips off the tree.
Not the worst.
Yep,
Not the worst.
Yep, not the worst. This Cat with a nice adjustment right up the middle there on a really pretty turnover shot.
Ooh, friendly tree kick,
Yeah,
too.
I would say so. Probably kept her from going all the way down towards the water's edge. Nicole with that nice elephant tat on her shoulder.
Ooh, that's a pretty shot.
And really, you just want to either decide to go left or right of that tree that's leaning right there in the middle. And it looks like she hit her line there, right to the left of it.
That's what Jenna does.
Jenna lining up a very similar shot. Just got inside of that leaner. Nothing wrong with playing a hyzer down to
I
that
was
open
going to say,
section.
I was just going to say, hyzering down, it will usually leave you a pretty open shot. Well, I liked the sneaky line Daphne was trying to do.
Yeah, it looks like it came out a little bit early, but she was trying to hit that left sideline. See if she can work her scramble magic again here.
Oh my gosh, Daphne. Great
Nice
shot.
up and down.
It'll give her a putt for
Yeah, a
par.
little short, but at least she has a putt for par, like you said. A little patent pending backhand here for Perry.
Oh, tough tree.
Yeah, and that can happen sometimes when you're in a weird footing like that. It's really hard to control the angle. Here's Nicole in a very similar spot, opting for the forehand turnover. Oh, caught
Got-
some rocks.
I was gonna say
or
rocks
roots
or
something.
root. So they went hyzering out. This is a pretty common spot to
Yeah,
land down there. And
It's not bad, but there's a couple of specific gaps that you kind of just need to figure out which one you want to hit.
I
Oh.
love that Jenna just took her time with it.
Yeah. Got a little friendly tree kick too, put herself right there. See if Perry can kind of lay this one right under the basket, which she does.
Awesome.
Yep, and she's even like, okay, it's fine with her. Cat with a layup. I couldn't tell, but that disc actually looked like it might have been upside down. Sometimes you do that because you don't want to risk the roll away.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, let's see what Nicole can do here. Big putt looking at the water.
Ooh.
That was a
That was smart.
That was a
kind of
smart-
a half run,
yeah, half-
lofty. Daphne for 3.
also a good. Ooh, yeah. I was gonna say if that
Yep.
catches an edge and rolls.
I know. She did catch a little metal. You know,
Yeah, so
not a
that
bad
helped.
bid. Smart play.
I was gonna say the folks at Maple have done such a good job putting work into the course and
Yeah.
building those walls in the back to help discs avoid the maple pond.
There's Kat tapping in her par. Here we got Jenna. Ooh. Just left it a little bit low. You can see the wind kind of blowing those branches in the back. And sometimes even just looking at the water in the background can just get in your head a little bit. It's right around circle 1, but this is a hilly green, so you hit a little something you could roll down there. It's quite intimidating.
For the second round, this hole was averaging about 1/8 of a stroke above par, so averaging
And
3.79.
look at that. On our lead card, Kat's the only one with even a par.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
definitely making up. So this one is a righty backhand friendly 200-foot hyzer shot.
It gets tight, but it's a pretty straightforward hyzer line. And
Yeah.
you can see the red basket there in the middle of the screen. As long as you kind of get around this big clump of trees, you might skip up there for a look. Moves it just a little inside there for Perry.
It looks like where she kicked was right in that middle
In
gap.
the open gap.
So she'll
yeah.
at least have a decent upshot from
Right.
there.
a fun little thing to do on a casual round is to play mandatory up the middle with your friends on this hole.
Oh, I've never done that.
It makes this hole a little bit more challenging.
I don't even know what I would do.
Here we have Jenna. Leaving it nice and wide, letting it skip in there.
Love that play.
Look
It
at
looks
that.
like she's parked,
Yep.
and we'll definitely be happy with that, especially after the putt on the last hole.
Yeah.
Get a little redemption at Maple.
Here we have Daphne. And Daphne plays really fast. She just kind of gets up there. She knows what she's throwing. She knows the line, and she's just confident with it. So she'll just go as soon as she feels ready. Here we have Perry with a little touch turn over forehand.
Oh, that looks so
Sit.
good. Oh,
Sit. Oh, went a little long.
I was gonna say I don't know if she was trying to throw that in, but I thought
gave
she
it a little
she
bid.
gave it a bid
Yeah.
for sure.
Here's Nicole, little patent pending. Nice little bid. Tap the pole.
Perfect.
Yep. Here's Kat with a long birdie look.
Oh,
Ooh.
good bid.
Gave it the good height, just a little too much, little too little power. Daphne looking like she's just playing the layup. She's probably around 60 feet, so
Yeah.
just playing for par.
And from that spot where Daphne is, it's a little downhill too, and so downhill putts can be pretty nerve-wracking. Oh, that was a great run.
And that was for her 3 because she went a little long on her
Right.
upshot, so she definitely wanted that one. And here's Jenna.
Look at that
And
birdie.
look at that birdie. And Perry's tapping in a bogey, so that's a 2-stroke swing right there between those two.
Yes.
And I don't know if you just saw, but Kat walked up to the wrong disc and she looked down and she noticed it was the wrong disc and like walked away frantically. That was kind of funny.
Oh gosh.
Perry taps in her bogey. Kat's gonna tap in her par. Couple
Daphne,
pars.
I was gonna say I'm gonna give a shout out to my new DG friend KG, who got the only other birdie on hole 5 this.
Yeah, there was only
That's
2
round.
birdies. Yeah, Jenna and then KG, Katie Grace.
All right, hole 6.
This one can be tough too because it's a straightforward shot, but the water is right there, and you're playing a hyzer shot. If you get clean all the way through it, sometimes you just skip into the water.
Right, and you also have this rock wall on the right side,
Which is OB as well.
which is OB. And so, like I said, these shots are pretty straightforward, but there's a lot of elements that make it a tricky course.
Right, make you think about more than you should on,
Right.
on a pretty straightforward shot.
Right.
And look, the first 3 girls here haven't really made it past that stump in the ground. See if Daphne can kind of get it down there.
Ooh, that looks like a good
Ooh,
release.
nice little flip up.
Skip, baby.
That was a great shot.
A little
She's
long?
A little
Long.
jaily because those trees are in the way of her in the basket, but hey, I think they'll take that for a drive any day.
I would take that shot
Yeah.
any day.
Here we got Perry rounding off the box.
Yeah, that also looks pretty good. Has good
Yeah.
height. Skip in.
Playing
Copy,
follow the
paste.
leader, yeah, playing follow the leader with Daphne there. So 2 of them are up near the green and 3 of them are kind of back in the fairway. Here we got a little shot of them
Oh,
walking
I
down.
love this. The speed walking.
Perry throwing the arms up. We got Jenna's boyfriend on caddy as well. And just look at the wind just ripping right now on the side of this lake.
Wild.
Great up for how windy it is.
Yeah, that could have, a lot of things could have gone different
Yeah.
there. Similar for Jenna.
Yeah,
that's
also a
shot.
great up there. And just look at this. Like,
my
seriously, we're
gosh.
getting 30-mile-an-hour gusts, and I'm not even exaggerating that. Got Kat trying to keep it low and out of the wind. Also puts it right underneath the basket. So those 3 that ended up a little short are all pretty much tapping in for par. Let's
I'll
see
be
if-
really curious what Daphne and
If they're
Perry
able to
do.
find a
yeah,
gap.
Yeah, like with, there she got one. She got one on the left side. She
Yeah.
pitched up. Oh, but it's to be there and to
Have to just pitch up.
have to
yeah.
pitch up. Let's see.
Well,
See what Perry does. Ooh, that was a good sneaky gap.
And that was
using
the
her
aggressive
length.
line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
using her length. I would not call you a chicken, Perry. That was a good safe bid.
yeah.
Everyone tapping in their pars.
And where you see all those rocks on the corner of the green right there actually used to be a wooden wall that would keep skips from kind of going out, but they took it down and replaced it with those rocks because they just wanted to, I guess, make the hole a little bit more challenging. But all these ladies seem to stay away from that edge. Tapping in a bunch of pars here.
I mean, we got to give a shout out to the folks at Maple between Steve Dodge, Gage, Ryan, everyone else on staff.
Just
you
makes
know,
this place look amazing all
and-
the time.
And you know, they make these changes, but it's not too much because
Right.
they seem like they just work.
Right.
Ooh, hole 7 is a tricky, narrow gap, slightly uphill shot.
Yep, plays uphill the whole way. You can see the basket, it's right in front of you. But you can also see all those trees with a lot of bark missing, so that just shows you that this can be a tight gap.
There we go.
Ooh, nice
Good
little
shot,
flip up.
Nicole.
And that just kept flipping and turning. That was a great shot. Daphne looked like she was trying to just keep it low and out of the wind, but just kept it a little bit too low.
Hopefully she'll have a lane from where she skipped to.
Yeah. Perry.
Ooh, turning it
And
over.
Perry has a really slow run up, and then she
Yeah.
just snaps. She's got a lot of snap in her throw.
Yeah, she's able to really get the kind of use the power pocket, as they
Yeah.
say, and get some good spin
Good
and snap.
speed to it, yeah.
All right, Jenna's got a shot.
Yep, she's got a lane.
Ooh, she put a lot into that. Great
Oh,
shot.
and
I
I
was
think
gonna
the
say,
tree blocked it, but that was a run almost.
I looked like it.
Yeah, and Daphne was pretty much, they were literally right next to each other. So Jenna opted for the backhand, and Daphne here opts for the forehand.
It's so funny. So, in getting some kind of background info on folks, Daphne fancies herself more of a traditional backhand player, but she mentioned having 2 aces this year with forehand.
Wow.
Which is incredible for.
Wow. Someone who doesn't consider
Know
themselves a
themselves.
forehand player
Yeah.
at all. And that shot by Daphne, she was probably only 90 feet, and she went with a driver just to trust it and get it up there with a little skip checkup. And this is Nicole for her birdie, actually.
Oh!
Just off
was-
the right side. And that was a good bid.
That was a good
yeah,
bid,
that
too.
was not coming up short. She had good pop on that one. And now it's going to be pretty much just a bunch of par cleanups by these girls. And looking at the stats, 3.21 was the average, and there were no birdies on this hole.
Which it's amazing to me. I don't know why. I would have that this hole played easier than the last hole, and I don't know if I would have expected that with the narrow fairway and the uphill.
I know. I'm not sure quite what it is either, but it seems to just get a lot of pars on this day.
Yeah. Okay, we'll take some pars.
Yeah, look at that. 2 back-to-back par cards. Not a lot of movement in the last couple holes, but nothing wrong with pars out here today.
All right.
And I liked setting up for this little shot here. It was just kind of a nice little shot, seeing the girls moving on to the next hole, and
Yeah.
hole 8's pond, and the wind kind of blowing the leaves on the branches.
Yeah, so hole 8 does not play over it's not the traditional hole, hole 8 as you see at the MVP Open, but it's, from the old drop zone going up the hill behind where the 8 holes
And-
perch up.
If any of you have never actually seen or played the Reds layout, you probably have never even seen this basket, honestly. It's probably another 100 feet up in the woods from the basket that you're used to seeing. And like Kim said, they're throwing from the drop zone, and there actually is a really solid backhand line to get up there. So this hole is pretty cool.
All right, let's see what Daphne does here.
Ooh, looked
A
like she
little
kind of
early.
challenged that early. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because if you hyzer out too early, you've got the benches, you've got those trees, you've got some tight.
Looked like
tough
she was
lanes
trying
over
to
there.
turn it into the gap, but it just came out a little bit early out of her hand. Oh,
I was
and
gonna say,
there you.
I was gonna say,
There's your card.
there's my card.
Yep. And that must have been a fun card to play on too.
Oh my gosh, we had so much fun. Oh, Perry.
Perry looking to get a little aggressive on a big jump putt from circle 2 there, and just caught that one tree.
See what Kat does in response to that.
Easy up and down par for Kat. And now this is for par, so tough putt.
Perry, let's go.
And Perry just says, what par putt? Smashes from 35 feet, obstructed.
These leads have been hitting some crazy putts.
They
It's
have
so
been. They're showing up.
They
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what lead card filmed coverage? Like they are got ice in their veins for a lot of these putts.
Ooh, and that one stuck for her.
Good job, Jenna.
Nice birdie. Par for Nicole there. And yeah, I don't know what it was. I think it was a little bit of Daphne's ready golf there, but I missed her approach shot. She just laid up to the basket there for par.
Awesome. Great card.
Yeah, and Jenna takes the solo 2 there. A little bit of movement. Takes top of the box here on 9.
So hole 9, it's interesting. This is the old white tee pad that they had switched fairly recently. So
It's kind of a quirky hole.
it's a quirky hole.
And
It's
it's-
uphill.
It's more uphill than what the camera makes it look like, too.
Yes.
It's uphill, and that gap looks really tight in person. Kat left herself in a really tough spot, I'm pretty sure.
And the basket sits right on the edge. You'll see it once the camera gets up there, and it's just sheer downhill
A straight
behind
death
it.
putt. If you're not within 10 to 12 feet, it's a scary putt from any direction. Oh. And Perry, after hitting that big par putt, just leaks her shot a little bit early left there.
Let's see how she scrambles. Oh my gosh, that was
Nice
that
shot.
was solid scramble
Gets out.
game there.
Hopefully gives herself a look for par up there. Here's Jenna. A little leaning forehand out of the woods.
Ooh,
Oh, and
long.
yeah.
Stop the. She'll have a look, but you can see that is a deathy,
Scary
scary putt.
Oh, and I thought Kat was going to be in a tough spot, but it looked like she snuck through everything. Nice little up and down there for her par. Gives herself probably an 8 to 10 foot putt. And this is Jenna's par putt, and she's just electing to lay it up. That's
Right.
like how crazy this putt is. It drops off significantly to the right of the screen here on the basket side.
That's a good bid there.
And you could tell she was giving that a bid.
Yeah.
You know, giving that a good run.
So
another
Nicole, you
layup,
can see the
you
kind of
know.
lofty, not messing with that hill. I think I know a couple women on my card hit a solid, scary putt for birdie, and it was like, oh, this is what I need to do. Oh, speaking of solid, scary putt for birdie,
Yep, there it is.
get it, Daphne. All smiles. Daphne is
You know
so
she's psyched about
quiet
that,
and
yeah.
humble, but that smile says it all.
And that was actually the only birdie of the entire day on this hole. So that just shows that you got to kind of step up and really have confidence in that putt.
Nice putt, Nicole.
That was a
Jenna with the little nice putt on like a 3-foot tap in. Nice.
I was gonna say-
Keeping the energy light.
I was gonna say, Jenna and Nicole are like disc golf besties and that play together all the time. They're on the same team challenge
Yep.
team, and so they know how to kind of keep it light, keep it fun, but also competitive, which is super cool. Oh, nature moment.
Little nature appreciation moment there. Another kind of walking shot. Here we are at hole 10. This is the castle hole, playing from the red tee pad. 195 feet, but it is straight uphill, so that plays more like 260, 270, honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say it
It
plays
is a
much
far
longer
shot.
than 200
Yes,
feet.
it is a full driver shot for these ladies.
Maybe
You
a
can
little bit of an early release there.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
but
good roll.
Good rollout
Yep,
though.
back
She'll be
into
on
the
the
middle.
fairway. She'll be able to hopefully get up and down for her par.
And that wind is just ripping once we get back out here into these open holes. Cole plays a nice straight shot there up the middle.
Really, that's the name of the game on this one is get up the hill as far as you can, stay
Yeah.
in the middle,
Don't really try to bite off more than you can
right?
chew.
Because otherwise you can get hung up in those
Ooh, but
Christmas trees.
She made it out there. Just on the edge of that pine. And here we got Perry.
Good height.
Yep. Nice little flip up.
Letting the
Looks
disc
like
do
that
the
was
work.
probably the furthest drive of the group.
Yeah.
Probably put herself to around 60, maybe 50 short. And now you got the trek up the hill. By the time you get to the top, you're trying to catch your breath.
I'm gonna say Maple Hill is aptly named. There's a lot of elevation
There
at
is.
this course. Great
Ooh.
up by Daphne. She'll have a little bit of a death putt, but given the putt she just made, she has got to be having the confidence flowing through her.
Right. Kat leaving it a little left there. Not quite on top of the castle, but should give herself a little bit of a pin high look. See if Nicole can get herself up and onto that mulchy area.
Ooh, she does.
A little bit outside the mulchy area. That is a death putt.
Oh my God.
With this wind,
It's-
with that distance.
It's so like that. Like playing the upshot from this spot to the castle
Whoa.
feels like it should be easy, but like
it does.
you got to give it the height. You don't want to hit the wall and roll back down, and so I can appreciate that like the variation in like
Oh.
ooh. Great up.
But yeah, they all kind of chose a different way to approach it.
Right.
Yeah. And here's Kat, and she is pin high, but she's stuck behind this giant tree, so she's kind of trying to figure out which way she wants to go.
Oh, good bid.
Yeah,
That was
that's
a tough
very,
lie.
very tough spot. That tree is huge. Here's Jenna for her 3.
Ooh.
Smart
Safe-
miss,
I was
though.
gonna say,
She missed low.
safe bid.
Yeah.
That looked like almost like a half run, half layup. Let's see what Nicole full send. Who needs change?
Right? Hardly even grabbed the chains, just snuck into the basket there and sat down.
Oh, gosh.
That is a great putt.
Good for her.
Okay, here's Daphne for her par.
Oh, that was a good bid. A little high.
Good confident stroke, though, missing high on a death putt.
Yeah.
She was feeling good about the putt. Maybe the wind lifted it a little bit. Couple tap-ins here.
I was gonna say hole 10, no birdies on the day, but played 3/4 of a stroke above par with a looks like almost more than half of the field bogey,
Yeah,
which
more
is
than half the field.
so I feel like
Wow.
what we saw from the lead card here is pretty representative of how the day went.
And it was actually the 3rd hardest hole on the entire day in hole 10. Here at hole 11, big sweeping hyzer downhill. Once again, if you had never played the red layout, this actually plays backwards from the traditional hole 11 and 12 that you see in the Pro Tour style, but it is a very fun shot. Perry with a great hyzer out the right,
Yeah,
let it sweep in.
That
was
kind
textbook.
of textbook, like
Yeah.
the stall hyzer out to the right, let it fade back, let the hill and the stability of the disc bring it back naturally. It's,
It's a fun shot.
it's a super fun shot.
Maybe not on a really windy day like today, but they're doing a pretty good job trying to keep it, splicing through the wind there. And you can even see Kat just kind of giving it a few pump fakes and kind of seeing how she's going to play out the wind here. Gives it a little low. Doesn't look like the air bounce is going to help. And she's pin high again, but probably about 40 feet. Here we have Jenna. All these girls playing a big wide hyzer.
You
Nobody
could
opting
see
for
her
a
slip on the
forehand.
tee pad a little bit.
Yeah,
Poor
left
thing.
it a little nose up. Crashed into the pine trees there, probably 100 short.
We've got our
And-
friend Woyden out there
Yep.
helping people spot.
Yep.
So shout out to Woyden. All
Spotting
right,
all day on this hole.
let's see what Jenna does to get out of this spot.
I know, this looks tricky. Almost like a little patent pending.
Stop it!
Oh, no
Let's
way!
go!
Smashes a throw-in birdie. Let's see the
look,
huck back
we got
here.
the huck back. Look at that. Oh my gosh.
Through the pine trees.
Blind.
Pretty
I'm sure
much
she.
blind.
I'm
no,
sure she could
I don't
not
think
see
she
this.
could see it. And when I first set up my camera, I wasn't even in a spot to see the basket. I took a few steps forward and luckily was able to actually catch
She
it
got the
going in.
huck spot magic there. Look at her jogging it out. So I was on the next tee pad. We heard the chains and we immediately turned around and you just saw Jenna like from the
Running
woods.
in, yeah. What a great moment. And something like that can just totally turn around your mindset, too.
Absolutely. It
Yeah.
can kind of, like, if you're feeling like things are going up and down or you're feeling frustrated, it's like,
Right.
okay, like that can be the thing that kind of rechannels, recalibrates you.
Ooh.
Great bid there.
Yeah, Kat with a little safe Anheuser floaty bid right off the top of the basket. Wind seems to be picking up again at this point.
Yeah. Oh, I almost said, yeah, Nicole. Oh, that was
And that caught so many chains,
so
too.
many chains.
Perry?
Great birdie.
Yeah, that's a great birdie. Textbook. Right
I was
to
going
the
to say
base.
traditional birdie
Yes.
as opposed to the throw-in birdie that we saw
Yes.
from Jetta. There we go. Ladies cleaning up.
Couple par tap-ins now. And it's starting to become a tight race here. We got Perry still holding strong at 2 down. Jenna 1 down. Next at +1. It is getting close here heading into the back half. Hole 12, downhill hole. Plays the hole 13's basket. Because Reds kind of like skips a few holes in there to make the layout work for them. But this is hole 12 playing down to 13's basket for the traditional course.
And it is behind that basket, very steep. It
Yes.
is a steep drop off. So being mindful of the drives, being mindful of the upshots and putts.
Not only a
it's-
steep drop off, but there's also a gully before the basket too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where you can kind of, there's trees. It's
Yeah.
just, it has a little bit of everything Maple has to offer.
Right.
Ooh, Daphne.
Smooth operator.
So smooth. Looks like she's kind of in that tree jail on the right there.
Maybe down in the gully area.
Yeah.
Cat lifted a little to the left, but looks like it rolled
I was
into
gonna
the
say, it
center.
looks like she got a good roll back to the middle.
See if she can kind of get herself up there for a par putt.
Ooh.
Little left again. There are a lot of trees out there, so sometimes it's just hard to pick the gap that you think you want to hit. Perry's lining up a little flex forehand, probably trying to sneak her way through a little gap too. And
I was gonna say in the
a little
gully
short,
area.
but yeah, down in the gully. Gives
You
yourself
could-
a putt
I was
though.
gonna say the gully gives you a putt. So.
Yeah.
All right.
This is a birdie look.
You know what? Good safe bid.
Yeah, nothing wrong with
that
that.
drop off behind it.
Right. You don't want to risk a roll away.
Nice up.
Good
It's
up
like,
from
yeah,
Cat
Cat
there.
with a little short. And those 60-foot forehand shots are actually really hard to control the touch on that.
Oh, Jenna! Oh,
Jenna.
I was gonna say
Her
she's
putter.
getting the throw-in confidence.
Yeah, seriously.
Her putter's been on all day.
Right? That was a great putt.
Great putt,
Puts pressure on Perry to hit this one for par.
and she
Which
does.
she does. Gets it up and over.
So that brings them to tied at neg 2 now, right?
Tied, yeah.
Okay.
All tied up at the top here.
And we've got only a few holes left, so
Right.
they are making this interesting for sure.
And being the cameraman out there, things were getting a little tense.
I was gonna ask, okay,
yeah.
like so, like knowing that these ladies have played together like throughout the season.
Yep.
You know, Jenna and Nicole are friends. People, you know, generally friendly people. Like, how was it?
It was quiet.
Was it really?
Yeah, and it was just like tense, and the girls wanted it. Everyone was trying to really show up and throw their best shots. It was really, really cool to see.
Good for them. So hole 13 is narrow, tight fairway.
Very narrow.
It plays kind of to the left of hole 14. You can see the pond behind them there.
Yeah.
It is a tough, straight shot to, you know, gap to hit.
It is extremely tough. Coming from the catch cam position here, you do see that one gap there in the middle, but from standing on the tee, it just looks so much more narrow for some reason.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, this makes it look so wide.
I think it's
was
because
like,
the gap is playing open to closed from this angle, whereas where they're standing from, it's the shortest amount, and then it
Right.
opens up after that initial
Right.
gap. Because standing on that tee, this is a really hard gap to hit. And look, Jenna's like probably only 60 feet off the tee, leaving herself a really tough up shot.
ooh, tough tree there.
So we were just saying, tied up at the top, and now Jenna's probably over 100 feet out for her par.
Right.
So things can change out here in a really quick instant.
Oh, that was a great up shot.
That gives herself a look for a bogey. Here's Daphne, once again, kind of trusting that forehand.
Ooh, oh, she got
Ooh,
stumped.
But it's given her a very friendly roll.
Very friendly roll, but dang, if that had just cleared the stump
It
a
would
little
have
bit,
been
it would have been parked.
Yeah, now she's got probably an 18-footer. Here's
Nicole also doing the chip forehand. Ooh, almost threw it in.
Oh, sit.
Ooh, sit.
Okay, good route there.
What you can't see in the camera there is that the green slopes
Hard
down,
right, yeah.
down hard to the right. It is lots of little bushes and other naturey things, and it can.
That rollaway could have went very far
Very
if that route
far.
didn't stop it. Cat.
Ooh, good bid, good sit too,
And
because
she's
those are
had
those.
a couple of those now that just go off the top.
All right,
This is big. This is for Jenna's bogey.
there we go.
Nice, up and in. Damage control, not letting it get out of the hand.
I'll be curious to see how she's able to bounce back from that. You know, having the few good holes.
Yeah, it's been
seeing
an
if she's
emotional
able-
roller coaster for
Yeah.
her right now. Here's Daphne with her good par. Didn't let that stump affect her. Here's Nicole, similar distance, little
Good
high,
par,
but caught it. And that route definitely helped her from rolling all the way down that hill to the right as well. Now we just got a couple tap-in pars here, but Perry's going to be tapping in her par, so she's going to be staying at neg 2, and Jenna's going to bounce back up to neg 1. Got Nicole at +1, Daphne at +2, and Kat at +5. A lot of golf left, though.
A lot of golf, and the cool parts about red is that everything feels like it's birdieable, but also equally bogeyable depending on how you hit your line. So it makes for
Yes,
really
and
interesting.
how you're feeling in that moment.
Yes.
Yeah. Daphne had a good shot there. Got all the way across the valley, kind of where you see all those bushes down there. The ground goes way down and then it comes back up. So you really do want to get over all those bushes to give yourself a good upshot to the basket.
Perry a little high. Ooh, tough tree kick, and she's kind of right in those bushes that Noah was just talking about.
And you can see in her facial expression, she knows that that's not going to be an easy shot. Cat.
Good shot from Kat.
Yeah, that
She's
was good.
cleared the goalie. We'll have a decent look at the basket from
Yep.
there.
Jenna, see if she can bounce back from that bogey. Left it a little inside. Let's see if it can get at least across. It got across the gully, but she's going to be in a tough spot. Oh, speaking of a tough spot.
Oh gosh.
That was...
Honestly, you know what? You
As
can
good as
only
she could have done.
you can as good as you can get from being in that kind of spot. She's in the clear. I'm hoping she's got a decent look at the basket.
And Nicole's even in a tough spot down here, too. Catches a tree.
Seems like she's trying to hyzer it in and just left it a little wide.
Here's Jenna from far left of the fairway here. Also doing a little bit of a tough footwork. Gets it up. Oh, great
Beautiful.
upshot.
She'll have a tap in from there.
Yep. Here's Kat from the right side of the fairway. She turned her drive over a little bit to the right, but... Oh!
my
Looks like she
gosh.
gave herself a good look.
Yeah, she's going for it.
We got Daphne faking me out.
The one time Daphne takes her time on something, right?
Puts it right to the base. Easy par for Daphne. And this is Nicole for her 3, so not sure. Didn't look like she was giving that around. I think she was just kind of trying to get that up for an
Yeah.
easy up and down 4.
Yeah, take the medicine, move on to the next hole.
And this is for Perry's 3, so she does want this.
Oh, good
Just a
bid.
little high and left, but she's brushing it off. So that stroke that she just took from Jenna on the last one, she's about to give right back. Yep, up and in for Bogue. And I'm pretty sure that's Jenna's disc there on the right, right underneath the basket, so it's going to be all tied up here. Just a few holes left.
I was going to say we're getting into a good stretch of holes, a lot of scoreable holes, and plus we got hole 18 being the hardest hole at the end. That always makes for an exciting finish.
Right, the island green, especially under the pressure, anything can happen. Here we're at hole 15. Daphne throws a great shot.
That one tree.
Stops so many shots that look just similar to Daphne's. It should make it up there, but tree just
You
gets
kind
in
of
the
play,
way.
you throw it low, you let it hit the hillside, skip up a little bit.
Just like that.
Just like that, but that tree can certainly get in the way of a lot. And if you
Right.
leave it too high, you can hyzer out. There's a weird pond. There's all sorts of stuff back there that can be...
Ooh, Jenna looked like she made the correction, went to the right of the tree, and absolutely parked it for birdie.
Good job, Jenna.
Getting some daps, putting some pressure here on Perry.
See how Perry responds.
Nice and straight. Ooh.
Ooh, and that was
Tailed
doing that.
off.
I was gonna say that kind of did that thing I was saying earlier, where it hyzers out, and there's a bunch of cluster of trees over there that can be tough to get out.
Yeah. And here's Nicole,
I-
following the same line as her friend Jenna there.
I was gonna say that flex line. I love that play on this
Yeah. Play it to the right of the tree, let it come back, rather than kind of toying with the left side of the fairway
right,
there.
because you can see this is what you get. This is what you get stuck with on the left
Yeah.
side.
Steep
But-
hill, nothing.
She got up and down easy for 3, so
Yep.
not a lot there.
Daphne, same thing, up and down. Kat does have a little bit of a better look here, so see if she can give this a good bid. Just a little bit short. And here's Jenna with an absolute tap-in for birdie. And something like that can give you some confidence heading into the backstretch here.
Y'all are so nice.
Nicole also tapping in her bird. Oh, I think that was actually a birdie. That might have been a mistake on my end.
Let's see. Yep, Nicole did birdie that
Yep,
one.
so that was a bird for Nicole, not a par. Par for Daphne, par for Perry. So we got Jenna at -2, Perry at -1, Nicole at +1, Daphne +2, Kat +5. Here's another alternate hole that we had to add, because remember earlier we mentioned that we needed to add 2 alternate holes to this layout. So this is 15B, plays from a little bit further than the basket that you just saw, and it's
Yeah,
playing to
guys.
the gold basket.
And Jenna having some course magic over there, leaving a
Seriously.
little wide, but turns out when you miss a gap, you find a gap, and she looks like she's parked.
And I kind of like this hole as a little addition. You have that right side gap and left side gap, but there are a lot of trees in there that if you pull your disc a little bit. Oh,
Again,
she made it all the way
I was
through.
gonna say you miss a gap, you find a gap.
I think I'm trying to compensate from this with my legs and just like James Con.
I was gonna say, so what Kat's referencing there, she said she had right shoulder tendonitis a week before WGE, and then towards the end of the round, she said Her shoulder was just absolutely killing her.
Yeah. And this is the second round of the day.
This is the second round of the
Yeah.
day. And red isn't long, but it's a long day. It's hot, and you know.
And you got 2 added holes, so you're playing 4 extra holes on the day too.
Right.
Hilarious.
So she's doing what she can. This hole actually played as one of the easiest holes on the day, averaging .16 strokes under par
With a handful of birdies.
with a handful of birdies.
Yeah. And here we have Kat for a birdie look. Left it a little inside. That was far though. She was probably about 40, 45 out.
Yeah.
Here's Daphne from Circle's Edge.
Ooh, good. Right off the top of the cage. I feel like her putts, I'm like, oh, they're all either just
I know,
high or
right
just
on
low.
it. Just not finding the chains. Here's Nicole for her par. Here's Daphne for her par. And as you notice so far, Jenna still hasn't putt. Oh, there she is.
Oh
And
my gosh. Okay, so
there's
she's
another bird.
up.
Back-to-back birdies now.
And Perry is
Taking a par.
taking a par, so Jenna's up 2 now.
Yeah, she just took 2 in 2 holes.
Okay.
So it's -3, -1, +1, +2, +5. Things can still get interesting.
Yeah. All right, so hole 16, uphill.
It says 188, but this shot plays all of 240. It's really, really uphill. Jenna, not a bad shot. Left her up and on the left. She'll have an open look there for probably a long birdie putt.
Nicole's up the hill a little bit, but behind
little
that one
obstructed,
cluster of
yeah.
bush and tree situation, so she'll have a tricky.
Daphne's
Up
came
and
out a
down to the
little lower than
basket.
she wanted.
All right.
Kat trying to adjust a little bit because the other girls seem to finish a little low and left. She looks like she pulled it high right.
Perry getting a good skip off the hill. She'll have an open look at the basket from there. Daphne, easy up and down.
Cole looked like she was a little more outside of those trees. Did have a long look, but left it a little wide right. Also an obstructed look there from the right side where Kat landed. Tough putt. Jenna probably has an open look, but she's probably a good 45 feet out. Just
Great
a little
bit.
low, yeah. And Perry, probably right outside circle, and she's really focused on this one.
Oh, good bid. She
Right off
wanted
the
that.
Front, she did. Gave that a good pop.
I'm not surprised that we're seeing the ladies battle this hard towards the end of the stretch. As I mentioned in the beginning, FA1 ladies have been killing it all year, and the women not playing on this card have all finished like top 3 in all their PDGA events played this year,
Right.
and without a lot of variation. So these have been the women kind of the ones to beat,
Leading the charge this year.
leading the charge
for
this
sure.
year, and you know they're showing why.
Yeah. All right, so Jenna's got a 2-stroke lead on Perry here. We only got 2 holes left. You got the infamous 17 that you might have seen on some of Simon's vlogs.
Easiest hole of the day. And that's great bid, and that's really that is exactly what you want to do.
Yes.
You want to
Top of the card, put it right to the base of the basket, set the tone.
tough rock there, but
Yep.
she'll have a look.
She'll have a long look. Daphne playing that right side. Kind of disappeared on us, but I think she got enough distance to give herself a pin high look. Here's Kat, and this is when I could tell even in person that shoulder tendonitis, this is really when
This
she
is
started
like-
to early release things, yeah.
Starting to act up. Perry
Yeah.
opting for the flick.
A little high.
Oh.
Oh, knocked it right down.
Good roll. Good roll.
She's got to look, but Jenna's parked, so she really has to give that everything she's got.
Right.
Kat, good up and down there. Should be tapping in her par. And Perry from like 50.
This is a long putt. Good height. What?
Oh, nailed it.
It. She is not going down without
No,
a
she
fight,
is
my
not.
friends. Oh gosh.
And that last putt she had was just on the front cage, and she adjusted on that one. Gave it a little bit more height, just snuck it into the basket.
And especially with the elevated basket, and not to be outdone, Nicole.
Also, and these ladies are hitting putts from outside the circle right here. Perry's was probably 45, 50. That one was probably 40-ish. Standstill. That's impressive.
See if Daphne can Yes.
And look at these birdies from outside the circle or right around circle's edge on an elevated basket in the wind is just really cool to see.
Coming down the stretch, second to last hole.
Yep.
You know,
With the leader parked and some of these girls still showing up with huge putts.
I love that we got 4 out of 5 on this one.
So, heading into the last hole, 4 down, 2 down even are the top 3. Got a couple strokes in between them. Got that rock wall long as OB.
I was going to say anything can happen on 18.
Anything, yeah. Nothing safe here.
18 averaged a full stroke and a third over par.
Oh
So it
my
averaged 4.37
On a par 3.
on a par 3.
Yeah, it is playing hard today. So, they're all pretty safe, and Jenna was pretty safe underneath that tree. Might have been a little bit obstructed, but
You can see the wind's kind of taking that a little bit.
Yep,
Oh, she's
just
right
short
on
of the
edge.
wall.
Okay. She's been showing us those forehands all day. I'll be curious if she forehands or Annie's from over there.
Here we got Perry.
Ooh, okay.
Sit.
Hyzer back, Hyzer back, Hyzer back.
Sit.
Oh no! She
Definitely not
was.
in.
And that is a very tough mistake off the tee.
Yeah.
It's really the one thing you
It
want
was
to
a great
avoid.
pull too.
It was.
It
She
just needed to
pumped
come
it.
back.
And I think what she was trying to do was throw it really hard around the tree to leave an easy upshot to the green.
Right.
But she just left it a little bit too straight and it went OB. So this shot right here is a huge shot for Jenna. Perry just went OB. If Jenna can put this on the green, that's pretty much going to seal the deal.
How far is she from the green from over here? Would you
She's
say?
about, from the green, a good 120.
Yes,
And
Jenna.
she took the risky way. She
Oh my
didn't even play an Anheuser. She hyzered it over the part that she could have hit a tree and went OB. Whoa, cat.
I was gonna say shout out to Brandon and Doug, some of our new DG husbands.
Nicole with a really good forehand
Great
up.
forehand.
Yep.
Daphne going with the forehand.
Faking me out again.
Oh my God, you can tell she's been putting work on that this year.
Yeah, she really popped that one.
Yes.
Long of the green, but is safe. So here's Perry from where she went OB. So this is for her 3 here. She's got to get it.
She's got to throw it in.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know. And I think that's what she was thinking. I have to throw it in. She's in a really tough spot where there really is no gap through there.
Right.
She probably just put a little bit
All
too
right.
much pressure on herself
yeah,
there.
she's in from there.
Yep. Here's Kat with a forehand. Oh.
Great shot. See if Daphne can hit this to save the par.
Long look.
Oh, good bid.
Just off the right side of the basket. Here's a par for Nicole. Nice putt. Dead center.
Great way to finish her round.
And looking at the score, looking at the stats down here, it looks like there was probably only like 5 pars. I don't think it's gonna give us.
Oh yeah,
3
pars.
pars on the entire day on this hole. That is just insane. And sadly, there's Perry's triple bogey going OB twice on this hole. Kat's double bogey going OB once. And here's Jenna for her par and
To put an
To win.
exclamation point on her round.
on her season. What an impressive win, honestly. She played really good. Her putter was hot.
Yes,
Check out a
and we're
couple
gonna-
highlights here.
Yes, I love this.
She
I
just
mean,
was feeling it.
These shots are what kept her in it all day.
Big moment throw in.
Big,
But we just want to thank you guys for checking out this coverage and tuning into the 2022 Women's Global event. If you made it this far, you are part of the reason that women's disc golf is growing. So thank you so much for that. I'll pass it over to Kim.
I gotta give Noah a shout out for allowing us to use his platform to showcase all the talent, and a huge thanks to our video sponsors. Please check them out.
Thanks, guys.